Hello, and welcome to Gutter Trash, episode 211, Mind Management. My name is Eric.
I am Jason. Strange. As if we've been here before.
Yeah. Well, we've been here 210 times, Bruce.
Yeah. At least.
Or 212. We've done this 3 fucking times already tonight. It seems like, anyway. Oh, shit. As if just things just can't stop getting worse for me.
Aw. But I'm here now.
Yeah, you are.
I'm in tip-top shape.
Yeah, you are.
I'm here to help.
You sound great.
I feel it. I'm on codeine. And it's awesome.
Well, I'm glad one of us is enjoying something.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I was on codeine now, too.
I'll go get us some.
Sweet.
I'll get us
Do you have any Vicodin? That would be awesome, too.
No, I don't. I just got the codeine.
Fuck. Alright. You got any pot?
I should. But I don't. So what's up, buddy?
Oh,
Mind management.
Mind management. Let's talk about this book again. Hopefully for longer than 4 minutes.
Whoa. Yeah.
I'll do that. Okay, then. So, yeah, Mind Management by Matt Kent.
Dark Horse comic, 6 issues.
Dark Horse so far.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
7 issues, technically.
If you count the number 0.
Yeah. Number 0 just came out, 2 weeks ago? Something like that?
Yep. And I have not read it yet.
Right. But you have it.
I do.
Yeah. I did read it. But I won't talk about it since you did not. But we're going to review the first 6 issues, which there's no trade out yet. I think that comes out in March. I think
sounds correct.
Yeah, February, March, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I know it was on the February orders list, but sometimes they list hardcovers and things like that like a month earlier than the rest of the comics.
Right.
Anyway.
But this is one that you'd want to buy the single issues of. Apparently.
Exactly. It is meant for the single issue.
Yeah.
I think there's quite a few creators out there who are sort of doing that.
Yeah.
Ed Brubaker, for sure, is definitely a proponent of that.
Paul Grist,
definitely. And, hey, good for them.
Yeah.
Because, I like a trade paperback. Particularly, just something from Marvel or DC, because, I don't know, just sort of...
It's easier to get laid when you have books on your shelf than when you have this giant white boxes all over your fucking room. That's the main reason their comics have switched to trade form is nerds don't want to die out as a species.
That's why I think the future is in digital.
Yeah.
Because,
everybody's happy.
Huh?
Everybody's happy.
Well,
nobody has to have sex with nerds.
Right. Because eventually you have a girl over, enough times that she's going to look at that bookshelf.
Oh, yeah.
And she is going to see that those spines say Spider-Man on them.
Right.
Or something else equally as dumb.
Right.
And, you're not getting laid after that.
No.
When it's just a file in your computer or on your reader, she won't know.
Girls don't know how to use those
Exactly.
machines.
Exactly.
Except for Ada Lovelace.
I don't know who that is.
I just saw on Google yesterday that she was the first computer programmer in 43 years.
They didn't have computers.
Girls did.
Well, I hope that some sort of shady government conspiracy got rid of that.
I can't even remember what we're talking about.
Exactly.
Nice. My mind has been mingemented.
This is an episode full of coughing.
Yes.
Yeah. Just to be warned. Anyway.
I'm sure you'll take all that out in post, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
No. There might not even be a post.
Yeah.
Although, as of right now, we are lasting longer than our previous attempt.
Hey, that usually happens to me the second time around.
Yeah. We're talking about making rice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Because you just let it cool a little longer that second time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mind management. Or management, as I'm sure it's called by everyone else.
Mind management, yes.
Yeah. But we're dicks.
And we're dumb.
Yeah.
And sick and full of codeine.
One of us is. Yeah. I mean, sick and full of coding.
Right.
We're both dumb.
And dicks.
And dicks, yeah. Matt Kent's Dark Horse. Comics. For people to read.
So yeah, I mean, we, as you mentioned before, it's kind of, we're reluctant to even start again because we've said all this before and it just didn't record. But yeah, I mean, let's get into this story.
Okay, then.
It's fucking crazy.
It is crazy. So the story of mind management is, at least the 6 issues, are about a woman named, Meru?
That's how I pronounced it, Meru, in my brain.
She's a true crime novelist who, is, researching her next book.
It's called My Friend Dahmer. Sorry.
It's alright. No, sadly it's not.
She's researching her book.
Yeah, she's researching her new novel, which is the story behind a plane full of people who suddenly got amnesia. And they discovered that aboard the plane were 121 passengers, only 120 are accounted for. And of those 120, only a 7-year-old child was not afflicted with amnesia.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So the missing passenger, Henry Lime, she's tracking him down, and she picks up on a whole bunch of clues which lead her around the world, and eventually in the aid of the CIA, running from some seemingly immortal assassins, trying to track down this missing person.
Right, and find out what he's all about.
Yeah. And along the way, it seems as if she is being directly led to him by him. And that is the story of this book.
Yes.
Without giving too much away.
Right. Oh, yeah. It is so layered and dense and freaking crazy, though.
Yeah. And it's awesome.
Yeah.
I liked this book quite a bit.
About an issue or issue and a half, maybe even all the way through the second issue, I wasn't sure that I was going to like it, because I honestly thought, I was like, is it trying too hard?
Right.
Because, I mean, there's so much going on. There's all these secret coded messages, and even the background looks like it's printed on this weird pulpy stock, and I was like, I don't know.
And it has the blue line of a comic book sheet.
Right, yeah. There was just so much, and I was like, I don't know, is it going to be more style than substance? But it really does come together, and this story is pretty great.
Yeah. So, I told this in the unrecorded portion. I did read the Zero issue, which just came out. I read that first before I read the other 6 issues because I'm a nerd and I like order.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so, as the listener knows, I get my books via mail order now, and you have to order them like 3 months in advance. And the thing about that is that when you see just how much money you're spending in a month on comics, it can really make you balk.
Right. You see it all at once as opposed to
Right.
a weekly total, right?
Yeah, even with the hefty discount that you can get doing mail order, like it's still, it can be a shock.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Yeah. So I was like, I should really probably drop some books. And once issue 0 came out, I was just like, I haven't read the other 6 issues yet, and whether I like them or not, obviously if I'm not jumping at it, I should probably just drop it.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah. So I dropped it. I put it off of my pull list. So and then the next month there wasn't even an issue being solicited. And then the month after that, issue 7 was being solicited, and I was like, I'm done with that book. And so I read issue 0, and I had just done my order for February, and like hours before that.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I read issue 0, I went back onto the computer and added it back to my pull list.
Right.
It was that good. Just that one issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure had I not read issue 0, I probably still would have added it by now. But I think just going by the first couple of issues, I probably wouldn't have jumped at it.
Right, yeah. That's kind of how I felt. It was just kind of the first couple.
I think the difference with the 0 issue is that they were just sort of miniature stories. There's like 3 tiny stories in the book that were all sort of self-contained, and they really just sort of give you a clue as to like what the overall world is. Like
the tone of it all.
Yeah. And I believe Marrow is in all of the stories, just sort of interviewing people. Like that's the basis of that issue.
Okay.
But it just sort of gives you a glimpse of what it's about, without telling you what the story is.
Yeah.
Whereas, the first 6 issues are there to, present that story.
Right.
As the first chapter of like this, overarching, thing that he's got going on.
Has he said how long the series is going to be?
I was reading through the letters columns, and I think he said that he's got about 36 issues planned.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like 12 or something.
No, yeah. And he said he wrote the first 6 as a self-contained thing, so that, obviously in today's comic market,
right,
everything good gets canceled.
Yeah. Just in case.
Right, yeah.
But it's doing well?
I guess it's doing well. Obviously, issue 8 is being solicited.
Yeah.
But then, on the other hand, issue 9 of Creator-Owned Heroes got solicited this month, too, and that's being canceled with issue 8.
That's far. I mean, the correlation, yeah.
Yeah.
I've never read Creator on Heroes.
I never have either, and I will say 2 words to explain why.
Creator owned. Fuck that.
Damn Skippy.
Oh, damn Skippy. Those are the 2 words.
Yep.
Okay.
So mind management. Yeah.
Pretty great.
Dig this book.
I'm glad I hadn't just like read the first 2 issues and not picked this,
right,
because I might not have like continued with it, because like I said, it was like, it almost felt like it was going to be more just about how much he can cram in there, and like he's trying a little too hard, and but no, it comes together in such a way that it makes the first 2, it makes me want to go back, and I did go back and reread the first one as soon as I finished the series, because it's got one of those sort of really good full circle moments.
Oh yeah.
But done really well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, a couple months ago, I tried to sit down to read the first issue, and I got like halfway through it and just sort of put it down and never went back to it.
Right.
And it's not that like I wasn't excited about it; it's just like there was nothing immediately to grab me.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that I continued to buy it, and I'm glad that I read that Zero issue first, because I think, and I don't know if you would have had the same reaction or not, but it really did grab me enough to push me through some of the slow parts, just to see where everything was heading.
Right. Because it is, it is, it's not easy. I mean, it's dense, and it's not, like, it's fun to read as a reader. I mean, like, as a reader, you have fun because there's so much going on, and, like, just different storytelling techniques that are completely original. But, the story isn't really as fun as it seems like it should be. Like, like off the bat, you're like, oh, this looks like a good, like, weird spy mystery. This will be really fun. And there's not as much, like, fun spy elements like gadgetry and whatnot. It's more just like a kind of a serious, kind of fucked up story,
Yeah. And I mean, it is a spy story, but you're right, it doesn't have like the gadgets or anything like that. But it also is not realistic.
Right.
Like, it's set in the real world, but it's like, extraordinary things happening in an ordinary, universe.
Mm-hmm. A lot of mental powers.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. Mind management is like this shadowy government, group that trains people to sort of, I guess, anyone with the potential to do it, to become sort of these psychic spies, of all different types.
Right.
Like it's not just all telepathy or mind reading.
Just all kinds of manipulation.
Right, yeah. And our main psychic is Henry Lime, who is the girl that Maru is chasing. Or the guy that Maru is chasing.
Mm-hmm.
And sort of the key behind, like, the big mystery of this book. And when we do learn about him, and he's basically like this really powerful psychic who can sort of manipulate emotions and push feelings onto other people, and
on a mass scale too.
Oh yeah.
Where a lot of them seem to only have the power to do a more one-on-one type of thing or something.
Right.
But he's very powerful.
Yeah. And then there's like other different types of psychics, like people who can use their minds to heal wounds and to sort of adapt themselves against life-threatening situations. And then there's like a guy who can sort of predict the future, or at least the immediate future,
right?
And in a way become like unkillable or unbeatable.
Oh yeah, he's like, because he's aware of, like, I guess the thoughts of everyone in a certain radius or something.
Yeah.
Or not even just people, but creatures and
right.
Yeah, that goes interesting.
Or there's also just a dude who can design things really well and use it to sort of mask other things, and then and sort of imprint his own agenda in those designs.
Right. Yeah.
So it's really interesting, and it's just nice.
Yeah, it's a really nice comic.
Yeah.
Like and the crazy thing is, it seems like, I mean, there's so much to this book. I mean, there's like we mentioned all the secret messages. There's like no ads in this book.
Right.
And there's like,
well, there is.
Yeah, there's a back cover ad that's actually part of the comic.
Yeah.
And there's like short stories either after the main story and on the
inside
covers,
front, back
right.
covers. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so dense, and it like seems like there'd have to be like a dozen people involved in this.
Right.
But like Matt Kent writes and draws and colors the entire thing.
Right.
And that is fucking crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Impressive.
Yeah. It probably also explains why he's taking a month off.
Yeah. Oh, he deserves it.
Yeah. Plus he's writing like 2 books for DC at this point.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
It's nuts. Yeah, he's doing Frankenstein, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess that's being canceled, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
He might be working on something else. I don't know, but my mind got wiped.
I know. I can't remember. Like, I keep wanting to say, like, did we talk about this already? Because it's so perfect because, you know, that's what this book is about.
It's perfect us being idiots.
Yeah, I mean, we're idiots. We've already talked about this book like twice. We can't remember what we've actually already said. Like half of this comic I read while in a fever state. Seriously, like I had like 104 fever. So yeah, it's hard to like. This is something I really kind of do wish I would have got to read like 4 times before we really get into it, because it's so dense and like, I mean, it plays on itself so much, and like even there's all these secret messages. You get one per page on most of the series,
right?
And they just kind of, you know, scroll up the side of the page. And the first couple issues I was reading them, and I was like, okay, these sort of always relate to what's going on the page, and like sometimes add a little bit of insight without even, you know, it's not like
slamming you over the head.
Yeah, it's just like it somehow relates to something in one of the scenes. You're like, oh, okay, I sort of see where this is going. But then, like, you know, eventually you're like, I don't know if I should even be reading these anymore. Like, it's just kind of a waste. And eventually you find out, yes, you should definitely keep reading them. And it gives it this crazy fun element. It's like he's doing things with the storytelling in comics that, I'm sure they've been done to a degree, but it just feels like a whole new way of going about it.
Right.
It's like on the back covers it says something about you use like 10% of your brain, we use the rest.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like as comics, you know, there's a lot of untapped potential. It seems like he's kind of tapping into as far as the way to tell the story, and I think that's a really good like way to tell that same kind of story.
Right. I was actually talking to someone else about this. There's a plot element that gets revealed in like the last issue or two of this story, and my friend pointed out to me that it actually parallels with the plane, the plane situation in the story. Basically, this plane, everybody on the plane gets their minds erased. They're just completely amnesiac. They don't know who they are or where they are. Even the pilots don't know how to land the plane anymore.
Right, yeah.
And so all these people just basically get mass mind wipe, except that, there are 2 survivors of it. Henry Lime and a 7-year-old child who was completely unaffected. And then later on we learn like this other story that happens, and basically there are 2 survivors, Henry Lime and a little child.
Oh yeah. So he always leaves a child unaffected.
Right. And also that I think they hit at a lot that maybe children are unaffected by psychics.
Right.
Or people from mind management.
Right.
Because there's even another situation where like an entire town sort of gets wiped out.
And the kids are feeding their parents because they can't remember how to eat or...
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And we learned that pretty much all most mind management agents are all sort of recruited as children.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh. That is interesting.
So there's definitely something about children in this book. They're our future or something.
Yeah. Yeah, they are our future. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, that's a good point.
Right. This is I know the hardcover is coming out in like 3 or 4 months from now.
And you all want to get laid.
And you all want to get laid. But he has said that there is stuff in this book that's not going to be in the collections. So I would assume that it's like those the inside cover pages,
right? And
possibly like each issue has like a 2 or 3 page sort of backup story,
Yeah.
which introduces us to like just another element of mind management,
And a lot of times it's characters that become something in the series.
right? Or at least something close to it or something.
They play some sort of role, whether
Right.
it's off camera or not. Yeah.
Right. So, like, I don't know if that's what he's talking about what's not going to be included. And obviously, yeah, the back covers of every issue is like an ad for some sort of product. And honestly, like, it was the guy at Challengers where we, because you and I went to Chicago and we actually saw, like, the original art for, like, the first two issues.
I forgot that we didn't talk about this.
Yeah.
Because we did.
Yeah. So we were in Chicago when I at least first heard about this book. And we saw the original art, and they had the first issue for sale, autographed by Matt Kent.
Yeah.
So that's honestly the only reason I even picked up that first issue.
Because they had there's like the first, 40-something pages of original art.
Right, yeah.
Which was beautiful because it's all, like, hand watercolored.
Right.
And it wasn't lettered, like I noticed, because it was, like, you couldn't really tell, because I had actually read the first issue. I bought the first issue for myself, and then Kathleen emailed me, like, the next day. It was like, hey, can you pick up that mind management book if it's out? And I went back to Mavericks, and we had sold out.
Right.
So I gave her my copy. That's why I bought one when we went to Chicago as well. But it was cool to see the original pages, like, after I'd read it, but like, then the second issue was there, which wasn't out yet.
Right.
And I couldn't tell exactly what was going on because there was no dialogue.
Right.
I thought that was kind of neat that he adds all that in later.
Right. So we bought this book at this comic shop in Chicago, Challengers Comics, and the guy working there, when we bought it, he was like, hey, this book is awesome, and you should really read everything. Even the back cover ad is like, not an ad; it's actually part of the book.
Right.
Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I would not have noticed otherwise.
Me neither. Yeah, because I mean, if you really stare at it, like, obviously Mind Juice gum is not real.
Right.
But I gloss over the ads. I just skip the ads.
Oh yeah.
And like, I wouldn't have ever noticed.
And they just look like innocuous comic book ads.
Oh yeah.
For gum and energy drinks and,
right.
Shit like that.
Very well done, yeah.
Now, I know you've been in a drug-induced haze for, like, the past week or so.
Yes.
Did you figure out the code of putting all the covers together?
Yes, I did.
You did?
Yeah.
I did not.
It's you put them all together, like, in numerical sequence in a big square, and then it has this message, and then at the very end of the message it says, like, turn it on its ear, or something like that.
Right,
or turn it on its head. So if you flip the whole thing upside down, there's 4 numbers in the background.
Okay.
Like, that aren't really obvious when you're looking at it upside down, or right side up.
Right.
But, then, there's like this 4-digit code. It's like 7734, if I remember right.
Oh, wow.
And,
spoiler.
and, no one's listening at this point. They all drop out at 20 minutes in. No, but, so then you go to the website and there's, like, unfortunately there's 3 things, and, I only could watch 2 of them because, like, it was taking so long to download. Like, the other one, I just couldn't do it. But the first one's cool. It kind of shows, like, his sketches and his process and how to do it. So
that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to give that a try then.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a really good book, and you should not wait for the trade. You should go hunt down the single issues.
And it seems like they're keeping them in print because I was worried about that. Because a lot of times these smaller runs, they just, like, Diamond doesn't order enough, like, because they're like, the trade will be out eventually. Mm-hmm. But every time we've reordered the first couple issues to keep them in stock, they always have them. So
well, that's cool.
It might be something like he's initially, he's like, look, people are going to want the single issues. So,
right, yeah.
So yeah, it seems like they're in print still.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think this is a thing that we talked about on the previous version of this show that we haven't mentioned yet. So I had never really read anything by Matt Kent. Like, I had heard the name, and I think you mentioned that he had done some fill-ins or you've done something on Sweet Tooth.
Yeah.
I knew he was that guy, and he made comics. And then, but otherwise I didn't know a thing about him. So then, like a month ago, maybe 2 months, I can't remember, I did a purge of a bunch of comics.
Right.
I got rid of 300-400 comics. And while I was going through them, trying to figure out what I wanted to get rid of, I found 3 graphic novels written by Matt Kitt that I owned, that I bought 10 years ago.
From Hell, Watchmen. What was the other one?
It was a 2-issue run on Vigilante.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't his hair longer back then, though?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why I didn't recognize. Yeah, see, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's like we mentioned before, maybe you were mind wiped.
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently I have been a fan of this guy before.
Yeah. And I swear I think he actually drew himself in the first issue. I'm pretty sure he's this guy that gets killed in the bathroom in the first issue.
Okay.
Because it looks exactly like him. Yeah, this guy.
I've seen him. Okay.
Yeah, he's got this kind of short, grayish white hair and a goatee and kind of thick eyebrows.
All right.
Because Kathleen, we actually met him at a show and he did a Dazzler sketch for her, which is
nice.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
He not only did he do the sketch, but he pulled up his watercolors and watercolored it while he was there. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, it's great.
Good writer, apparently a nice guy.
Yeah. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
That never happens. Doesn't even wear finger armor.
Nope.
He is cool.
You would think that if he doesn't wear finger armor that he wouldn't be cool.
Right.
Because all your good writers wear finger armor.
T.S. Eliot.
Yeah.
Tons of finger armor.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you're dying.
I'm basically gone.
Yeah. And I'm very paranoid that this is still not recording.
Right.
So what do we call this? A truncated episode?
Yeah.
And have you just pick a movie and we'll get out of here.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, then.
Well, hopefully we'll watch a movie called Chronicle that came out this year.
Okay. Yeah, why wouldn't you think that... okay. I kind of want to veto it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, but we'll watch it. That's
Okay. Cool.
fine. Okay, then.
Yeah.
Chronicle. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Gutter Trash. You can subscribe to the show from guttertrash.net or from iTunes and leave us a review. Visit guttertrash.net for email information, links to our Facebook and Twitter pages, and for other podcasts and websites in the Gutter Trash Network. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.